Welcome back to the Bako Motorsports Power Hour, brought to you by the Bakersfield, California. I'm Louis Amestoy, now joined by Steve Hughes of Kern Raceway Park, and things are getting busy.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
How the heck are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm having a fantastic hair day.
Are you?
Yeah. When you start out like that, I mean, what else can go wrong?
I don't feel as confident about my hair. I have a little spot going here.
I know that's kind of been the theme for this year for you, losing your hair.
Losing my hair.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just part of those things. You know, I'm a grandfather now, and it's just expected.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
So,
didn't you just go ahead and shave it?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
All
My
right.
grandfather shaved his head toward the end of his life, so
Sure.
I'm thinking of
You're far from the end of your life. But I wanted to break the ice and get things rolling.
Thank you.
Yes, we are very busy right now out at Kern County Raceway.
A couple of questions for you.
Sure.
We got the season, technically the season opener.
Yes.
Coming up next weekend. The motocross track is ripping and roaring right now.
Up and running, man. This weekend we'll have some open practice on the 21st and 22nd of March, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., $20 for riders, $5 for spectators to get into the pits. It's always a great time. There's a new layout on the motocross track, and April is going to be a really big month for us.
Okay.
We're going to have a couple of different things going on and a big announcement coming up next week about the motocross track.
Will that be a race?
Well, that, you know, are you, I'm trying to bury the lead here, man. So let me just tease it a little bit before we get going. But it'll be a huge two-wheel weekend at Kern County Raceway Park. On Saturday night, that'll be our season opener for the Supermotos on April 25th for Saturday night Supermoto. And then Sunday, probably some more two-wheel action going on, but I'll have a bigger announcement next week for that.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
As soon as I have you here, and I was we were poking around about Harvick earlier.
Yeah.
You know, you follow the sport way longer than I ever have, and we were just talking about this before your segment, that what Harvick's accomplished is basically the biggest thing since 1975, according to NBC Sports, when Richard Petty dominated.
Right.
You know, what put it in your perspective. When
your name gets thrown in with the king,
Yeah.
with Richard Petty, the way he started the season, he just seems as if he's in a different league than the rest of the other 42 cars.
Right.
I was in Vegas
Yeah.
and saw the way the car was performing. Did Jimmy Johnson have a car to compete with him? Yes. Did Dale Jr. have a car to compete with him? Yes. But once you got on that long run, the car just got up and moved away. When those guys started falling off, he just kept going quicker and quicker. The team has found something. They're still hungry. That's the great thing. From my perspective, winning a championship, you would expect that that hangover, that championship hangover. Oh, we've made it. But these guys are not resting.
Right.
You know, it's just it's amazing to me that they still have that hunger when they come to the racetrack. You know, every week they're wanting to dig and improve. And Kevin even said after his win in Phoenix, 4 in a row, which is unbelievable, at PIR. When he sits down, you know, at the press conference after the race, there's some places we can improve.
Yeah.
There's still, you know, there's here, and I just thought to myself, man, that guy is so driven. Now that he's got that taste of it and being a champion at the top level, I just think he's hungry for more. And from my perspective, I see many, many more to come for him.
It seemed like when they had the restart at the end of the race with Tony Stewart when he crashed, you know, like the crew was like, really?
Yeah.
Because restarts have not been a problem, or been a sort of problem for him the last year and a half or so. But boy, I tell you, he just separated from Jimmy McMurray and everybody else. You know?
Even it didn't matter where he was, you know, going through that dog leg. If he needed to pull it down on the apron or stay in the groove or go high, he was able to get around cars entering turn number 3 at Phoenix.
It's just interesting. From everything I've heard about him is that, you know, there's something's changed in him. I don't know if it's being a father or what, but he's just so focused. You know,
I don't think it's one thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a culmination of a lot of different things. The father being one of them. His business is doing very well. You know, he's not just staying in racing,
right?
With his Kevin Harvick management company, you know, with the UFC and now with country music. I just think it's really, things are just rolling for him right now, and he's surrounded by a lot of great people.
And he's in town today, and we'll have coverage of that later here on Bakersfield.com. So it's kind
big
of
announcement for the Kevin Harvick Foundation and the Boys and Girls Club. We'll be there as well. So I'm really looking forward to this afternoon down at the Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely, it'll be very exciting. So getting back to what you got going at Kern County Raceway, the season opener on the 28th. I mean, give us we got the Napa Auto Parts 150, the NASCAR Late Model 75. it's going to be a really great mix of out of town guys, local guys who throw down the hammer on those in those late models.
Yeah.
What kind of racing do you expect?
You know, we're excited about our NASCAR spec mods and our NASCAR late models. They get to kick off the season with a regional touring series. That is their opening weekend as well. So we're excited about those guys. We're looking at some great car counts that'll be there for the spec mods and for the late models. You know, we've got our defending champion, Brian Richardson, coming back. Look for him to be a player, definitely. Mm-hmm. Lance Wilson is going to be up there. Buddy Shepard, what a great win for him in Madera last weekend. $5,000. Did you see the photo on Facebook?
Yeah.
Him holding the wads of cash.
Right.
That was so cool. So now you know who my vote is going to be for driver of the week. I just saw that up on the screen.
Buddy
before
Shepard
I
for
came
sure.
in.
I mean,
yeah, that's a big one, man.
And it was interesting. I was reading the story on Victory. You know, there was a lot of little controversy at the end of that race too.
Yeah.
You know,
an exciting win, 3 wide at the fin. I mean, and there were some heavy hitters up there going for that big money. So congratulations to him. But we're just excited about the opening week. The Napa Auto Parts 150 is just going to be that stamp on it for us. We're getting a lot of great feedback from the NASCAR K&N teams, guys coming into town, some first-timers, a lot of rookies, a little bit of a changing of the guard in the K&N Pro Series West. So we're very excited about that.
When you say changing the guard, is that just because of new drivers or how they
new
manage
drivers, new ownership, guys that even talking to NASCAR weren't even sure that these cars were coming, that we had been contacted by some folks in Tucson coming out, bringing 2 cars with them. You know, it's just going to be a great mix of racing, and I think it's going to be highly competitive, and we're looking for a great car count there as well.
What's going on? Is testing going on this weekend? There's always something going on there every weekend, basically.
So the half-mile track is dark this weekend.
Okay.
We are having a Kern County Raceway racing experience group come out on Saturday where they get to race the 911 cars on the quarter mile.
Right.
So we'll have a group there, and then also a single car test in the early morning. We'll have the motocross track. They'll be running on Saturday and Sunday, and then we're also going to have an open practice for the dirt track this weekend.
Okay.
So first time that's happened, that we're going to invite all the dirt track drivers to come out. It's $100 for your car, so you'll have to check in at the pit entrance area, pay your $100 for your car. Your crew and everybody gets to go in with you. They'll just have to get the wristbands and sign the release form. But that's going to happen from 9 to 4 as well. We'll take registrations from about 8:30 till about noon. We're going to cut registration off at noon so we can let our pit gal go home and enjoy her Sunday afternoon. But we'll run testing from 9 to 4 this Sunday out at the KCRP dirt track.
Very nice. You got some things here to share.
I do, man. We're so excited.
So this is NASCAR week is next
NASCAR week starts on Monday.
Okay.
You know, Mayor Harvey Hall and the Bakersfield City Council and Chairman David Couch and the Kern County Supervisors have both declared NASCAR week March 23rd through the 29th. And the proclamations are here, and we're kicking the week off in a big way. We'll have a media tour. We'll have our Napa Auto Parts kickoff party at Chewy's on Rosedale Highway on Thursday the 26th. We'll have haulers out there. A live band, Divided Highway, will be there. We'll have some giveaways. We'll give away some tickets. We'll also have a car show there. Thank you, Lugnut Larry. Appreciate that for putting that all together. And the folks at Chewy's couldn't have been more welcoming to us. So it's going to be a real exciting week leading up to a great event on Saturday night.
And the NASCAR week is something that's interesting too, because I think there was a lot of clamoring for, you know, when Harvick won the Sprint Cup title, you know, and we got to figure this out. If he wins it again, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, give the guy a parade, but no one can seem to kind of figure it out. I mean, how should we honor somebody like Kevin Harvick? This is one way to do it. This is one way to honor the sport that, you know, what other cities can say they have 3? I don't think anybody else can say they have 3 guys, you know, either
at
in
the top level,
you know.
I mean, just when he won the Daytona 500, you know, that was huge. That would be like a quarterback getting drafted in the first round of the NFL and then going on to win the Super Bowl when Kevin won the Daytona 500. He's a Daytona 500 champion forever. Brickyard 400 wins. I mean, multiple wins, you know, throughout the series. But then to cap that off, you know, with a Sprint Cup championship, the guy has really reached the pinnacle of the sport.
It is.
And couldn't be more proud of him.
Yeah, I was asking Logan earlier. I said, "Who is the greatest driver from Bakersfield?" And I told Logan, I said, "I think that Harvick would still say Rick Mears, but Harvick's certainly making a lot of noise.
And there's a lot of different guys that we got to talk about. We haven't even mentioned, drag racing.
Yeah, right.
That the success and how they've, the guys out at Famoso that moved the sport forward
Absolutely.
and really made huge leaps in their sport, not just their driving skill, but with the impact that they've had on the sport of
revolutionized
motorsports.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
So, I mean, that's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
As far as success and most recent success, definitely Kevin Harvick. But I mean, I remember growing up in Bakersfield, and when either that bright yellow Pennzoil car or the Marlboro car would be on the track for Rick Mears, I mean, it was something very, very special,
When you look at like what Buddy Shepard accomplished last week, with and he's only 15, and you got other kids that are racing in that group. What does it say for? I mean, is this how racing is in other parts of the country, or do we have a lot of young talent? I mean, how do we stack up?
No, this is how it is.
Okay.
There's young guys. Cole Custer, for instance. I mean, he's going to be racing in the K&N East and some chosen races in the West. When he started at the Bakersfield Speedway,
right.
In one of those USAC the Ford Focus midgets, and won a couple of races out there. And then, sure enough, we see him winning some late model races and then K&N West races. So I think it's pretty universal when there's a talented youngster, and we see him younger and younger and younger.
Right.
And I think the influence of Kevin Harvick locally in this region has really done a lot to promote that and maybe give sponsors and tracks and those younger kids an opportunity. And then with divisions like the Mini Dwarfs and the Bandoleros and now those what are those little not the spec mods.
Oh, the mod lights.
The mod lights.
Right.
With divisions like that are growing and growing. They're feeder divisions for those bigger, the late models and modifieds and sport mods and spec mods that we see. It's going to just keep feeding that younger group, and I think it's just going to keep growing and growing.
Right.
We're going to start seeing younger and younger drivers, but back east all over. I don't think it's just a regional thing for us. I think it's nationwide.
It's interesting to see, like what the level of participation is. I mean, I know Logan had gone up to Tulare and watched a kid named Rico Abreu dominate a race up there, and I guess he's a great story too.
He is. Won the Chili Bowl Nationals in the midget, and then went up and won I believe the World of Outlaws race last week at Tulare. Right. So yeah, pretty great story there.
Good stuff. Looking forward to it. The big announcement is next week, or for the motocross?
For the motocross track. Yeah. Watch Facebook. Stay tuned, and it'll be a big announcement. We're very proud of that one. I just got to get through this March 28th for the Napa Auto Parts 150, and then our opening night for the NASCAR late models and NASCAR spec.
Remember
mods.
the over under is that I will be there for at least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours. I think I'm betting the under on that one. I think that's, if we recall, if I played the tape back, it's definitely the under.
I will be there I'm thinking I'll be there for at least, well, based on my last experience of being at Famosa for like 16 hours, I think I could at least put in 4 hours at Kern Canyon Raceway Park.
Think so?
No problem.
Do I need to put a cot down for you?
You might have to.
Okay.
There's a little place for me to kind of lay down.
Spoon feed you milk every once in a while I'm rubbing your ever fading hairline.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. I would appreciate that very much.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more here on the Bako Motorsports Power Hour.
Thanks, Lewis.